Miss Starr, I'm Terry Payson. Paul Brake tells me this is the place we've been looking for. The place that serves good food the way people like to be served. Now we need you as our star witness to prove our case.
I'll be glad to help you, Mr. Payson. But where do I start?
We'd like to get all the facts on how you handle your job. So why not start at the beginning? What's the first thing you do when you come to work?
Well, first of all, we get set. Get set to give our customers friendly service in spotless surroundings. We go to the lounge the first thing and check our appearance. We make sure we look right from head to toe. Hair neatly arranged, hairnet on, clean uniform and apron, and well-polished, low-heeled shoes. Looking right also means go easy on the makeup, perfume, and jewelry. And we never chew gum. We have a special place to keep our personal belongings, and we never carry money with us when we're on duty. Clean hands are important, too. We always wash our hands before returning to the counter. Nails should be fairly short, and if we do use nail polish, it's natural or colorless. The first thing we do when we come out to the counter is to check our station.
Your station?
Yes. Each girl is responsible for a section of the counter. We see that everything's neat, clean, and convenient. Menus in place, salt and pepper shakers filled, crackers, sugar, silverware, napkins, and other supplies right at hand. Then, after we fill the pie case with our good homemade pies, we make sure we have a sharp pencil and guest checks. We study the menu and find out what the fountain manager wants us to suggest as the special for today. Then we're all set to serve our customers.
Fine. And you have a hungry customer right here. I'm always hungry.
A hungry customer. That's what we like. Mr. Payson, let's say you just sat down at the counter, which brings up the second step. Take the order. May I serve you, please?
That was certainly fast. Nice smile, too.
Thank you, sir. Prompt, friendly service. That's what you get at Kresge's. Notice, Mr. Payson, that I give you the menu and a glass of water at the same time. I hold the glass near the bottom. You see, we're always careful not to touch eating surfaces of glassware, silver, and dishes. Now, would you like some coffee while you're looking over the menu?
Oh, yes, black, please.
Here's your coffee.
Thanks. It's sure nice to sit down to a clean counter and get such fast, courteous service.
The dishes are removed quietly and the counter wiped as soon as the customer is finished. That way, everyone sits down to a clean, inviting counter.
Now, let me see.
The Swiss steak is delicious today.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. And make it the steak.
Would you like to order your dessert now?
Well,
How about some homemade apple pie a la mode?
good idea. I'll have it. And thanks for the suggestion.
We always suggest beverage and dessert at the time we take the order. If we can complete the check, it makes for faster service. Swiss steak, apple pie a la mode.
Right.
We repeat the order to make sure it's correct, and then write it clearly so the customer doesn't have to guess what he's paying for. Then we leave the guest check face up on the counter and call in the order.
That certainly sounds efficient.
1 order of Swiss steak.
But, lady, you didn't shout. How nice.
When you speak clearly, you don't have to shout. As our store manager says, a low voice is easier on us and the customer, too. Now for the next step. Serve the customer. First, the silver and napkin. The silver is placed on the napkin at the customer's right. The fork goes next to the plate. The knife in the center with the cutting edge toward the plate. The spoon next to the knife. And, of course, we touch only the handles of the silver. The dinner plate is placed so that the meat, or main item, is directly in front of the customer. The bread and butter plate goes at the upper left of the dinner plate. The coffee at the upper right, above the silver. And notice, please, no coffee in the saucer.
This looks good.
It sure does. We make a point of arranging the food attractively. We also serve the orders as soon as they're ready, so the customer gets his food at its tasty best. Our foods are checked for proper seasoning, too. Now, while you enjoy your lunch, I'll explain some of the other things you should know about our service. Notice the couple down the counter that Kay is waiting on? The couple with the child?
Yes?
The woman is seated in my section, the man and child in the next. But the same waitress will serve all three since they're together. We take the woman's order first. However, we make out a separate check for each customer. Children are treated with the same friendliness and courtesy as adults. Parents appreciate this. In fact, we do everything possible to make eating at Kresge's a pleasure. For instance, you'll notice that we don't touch food with our fingers. We always use the proper serving utensil. Uh-oh. An accident. They do happen, especially with children. This one we can handle ourselves. But if this were a serious accident, we'd use the emergency call, which is our counter number plus a half, like 21 and a half. This call brings help immediately. We make sure that the situation is handled promptly. Spilled liquids or broken glass are dangerous on either side of the counter. That's why our motto is, pick up before you slip up. And now that everything's under control, perhaps you'd like to come behind the counter while I get your pile of moat.
Good idea.
Come along.
Say, how do you manage to work so fast and still keep it so clean back here?
Our store manager sees that we have the best modern equipment. And we also have a regular cleaning schedule, which we follow to a T, so it's easy to keep everything clean and to work efficiently.
My favorite food.
Yes, and you get your money's worth at Kresge's. The portions and prices are carefully worked out at our home office by food experts. This way, each customer gets real value, and at the same time, our department makes a fair profit.
Before that ice cream melts, let's go back.
All right. Notice I have a glass of water for my next customer. I always try to bring something back in each hand. You know, that's important, especially at busy times. One trip instead of two means faster service, and sure saves me a lot of extra steps.
I'll help by paying you and winding up this deal as soon as we get back.
Okay, then we're ready for the last step. Complete the sale. That's $1.05 out of 2. Notice that we repeat the amount of the check and the amount of money the customer gives us. This helps to prevent mistakes. We place the bills on the ledge of the cash register, ring up the sale, and put the check on the spindle. That was 1.5, 1.15, 1.25, 50, 75, $2. Thank you, and come back again. As we count back the change to the customer, we make sure to thank him sincerely and invite him back. And this completes the sale.
How about tips?
Well, since we don't carry money with us, we have a tip box. There are compartments in the box so that each girl can keep her own tips separately.
With the kind of service you give, you should get plenty of tips.
The better we serve our customers, the more tips we get. But that's only part of it. Pleasing our customers means more business for Kresge's.
That figures. And more business for Kresge's can create more opportunities for advancement for you, too, right?
Yes. As our store manager points out, there are plenty of chances for advancement. You know, 75% of the fountain managers and assistant fountain managers are women.
Is that right? Well, Miss Starr, you certainly prove that Kresge's is the place that serves good food the way people like to be served. I predict that you and a lot of other fountain sales girls who do this job right will get promotions soon. Thanks for being such a good Starr witness.